So the battery went dead in the middle of the last explanation, and I had pretty much left off with socialist on this. An extreme version of a liberal is socialist. And you'll notice, as we venture over into the libertarian quadrant, nobody from this group actually got pretty much close to this. But an extreme version of a libertarian is actually an anarchist, anarchy or anarchist. So if libertarian is actually going to be the belief in limited government or a limited amount of laws, anarchists are actually going to believe in the complete absence of laws or the complete absence of government. So that's basically what we're talking about there. Nobody really got all that close to that kind of extreme belief system, if you will, but that's just something to think about. Now the last two up here, we're going to actually go up to the top on this. And you notice it's kind of funny, your class doesn't surprise me, in fact, that you're as liberal as you are. You'll notice up here that, of course, some of you are going to believe in regulating morals. If you scored above this horizontal line, then in fact you believe that government should regulate moral issues. And when I say regulating moral issues, this is again dealing with prayer and gay marriage and these kinds of things. The other piece, though, is that y'all are going to believe, in fact, in staying out of economic issues. Remember, for exam purposes, a liberal is going to believe in regulating economics and staying out of morals. Well, in this quadrant, you're the exact opposite of the liberal. So, in fact, that makes sense, probably, that you would be known as a conservative. And when you look at this, talking about conservatives, Alvin, Anish, Artyom, and Robin, all of you are conservative at some level, although to be perfectly honest, you're still pretty moderate conservatives. Moderate conservatives. Conservatives are going to believe that government needs to conserve or actually preserve values or traditions that are part of society. So if marriage has traditionally been between a man and a woman, then in fact conservatives are going to believe that we need to preserve this particular institution. Conservatives are going to believe regarding school prayer. Religion is a traditional function, a tradition, in fact, in and of itself, in terms of the country. And when you put this into context, if religion is that way, then you need to conserve the concept of prayer or preserve the concept of prayer so that people continue to do it. Abortion, you want to conserve life. This right to choose would not be a choice if it involves stopping a particular life. So again, you're conserving or preserving something that is existing because in fact, if you don't, what you could get out of it could actually be an awful lot worse. If you start talking about economic issues, if liberals are more like the Robin Hood, taking from the rich, giving to the poor, making sure, in fact, that too few people don't have too much and too many people don't have too little, conservatives, again, are the exact opposite of that. I earn my keep, so I keep what I earn. That's a typical conservative idea. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. Conservatives are going to believe that everybody should typically be paid the same percentage. And it should not be if you earn more, you pay more. But in fact, if the tax rate is 10%, it doesn't matter if you made $1 million or $10,000. 10% in fact is what you're going to ultimately end up paying. When it comes to things like helping people with houses and education, you rise and fall more on your own merits. So in this regard, if you really think about it, in terms of economic issues, conservatives are going to be very much in agreement with the libertarians we talked about at the beginning. So in that sense, that mindset is very much alike. They share a side, in fact. But you'll notice conservative is up here, liberal is down here in this catty corner. They don't share a side at all. They're going to be the complete opposites. You'll notice up here, there's Artyom and Robin. And we've talked about this before. When you're basically one dot away from the origin of the graph, this effectively means that you are really moderate. You're leaning conservative. And it really depends on the issue. But if we change one question, you could have ended in any of these four quadrants. Alvin up here is actually much more conservative in terms of social issues. 1, 2, 3, Alvin, on 5 of the 7 questions, you said government should regulate moral, social, bedroom type issues. And in fact, there are certain things that government should not allow people to do. However, on the economic issues, you're very much the same with Artyom and Robin in the sense, in fact, that you are going to be moderate. You're going to lean toward government staying out of your wallet, but that doesn't mean that you don't believe that government should help people because, in fact, oftentimes you do. Kind of depends on the issue. Now, you'll notice this last quadrant up here, and this is the smallest one of all. And you'll notice up here, there is poor Jose, all by his lonesome. You'll notice up here that if the libertarians believe that government should stay out of both bedroom and wallet issues, this last group is going to believe that government should regulate both bedroom and wallet, or moral and economic issues. And you folks are going to be what are known as my populists, or you folk, Jose, are going to be what are known as a populist. Populists are basically going to believe that government is there to help Joe and Jane Sixpack. Joe and Jane Sixpack cannot stand on their own 2 feet. Maybe it's going to be from big business, maybe it's going to be from poverty, it could be any number of social issues. But for our purposes, government is there to help. One of the questions, and libertarians, if you'll recall, are going to believe that we rise and fall based on our own merits. We make better decisions with our money than in fact the government would. Well, populists are going to be the exact opposite. Their thought process is going to be individuals will actually not rise or fall on their own merits, but in fact oftentimes they're going to fall on their own deficiencies. Government is there to help them make the right decisions because government can make better decisions for the people regarding both economic and moral issues than the people can make for themselves. This, interestingly enough, populism is going to share a side with liberals here. They're going to believe in regulating the wallet, taking from the rich, giving to the poor, giving people boosts, protecting people's property, this kind of a thing, because they're not going to be able to do it on their own. With that said, they're also going to believe and share a side with the conservatives regulating the morals, which actually, Jose, takes us to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 6 of the 7 questions, Jose, you said that government should regulate moral issues. I'm not sure if it was striking down weed. I'm not sure if it was striking down abortion, requiring prayer, what it might have been. But only on one of the questions did you say that government should stay out of it. Jose, on all the others, you said that government should regulate. On 5 of the 4 questions, you're much more moderate on economic issues, so you're leaning populist, if you will, in terms of economics, but you are strongly populist in terms of regulating morals. Interestingly enough, when you look at populists, what they typically do is that they believe in regulating, and their thought is that government can help, government can help, government can help. And the problem is that they continue to regulate until they kind of control everything. And the danger with you becoming a populist is, in fact, you are actually the breeding ground to become a dictator. So if you get a question on the first exam, who in class is most likely to be the dictator? It's actually going to be Jose, because he's the one that's got the most control issues falling and wanting to regulate, falling in the populist category and wanting to regulate both bedroom and wallet issues. For exam purposes, for liberal, for libertarian, for conservative, and for populist, please make sure that you understand the relationship of bedroom and wallet and explain it to me. And explain to me, in fact, maybe even some of the examples, maybe even relate an article or 2 in there, because sometimes that will help strengthen an answer as well. Good luck as you prepare for the midterm.